All right, in an effort to help everybody understand what's going on with these tax reassessments and the way to process it and move forward, I wrote an article. The last time we went through this, I've updated the article, which I am going to attach in some format to this video. And then also, if it's easier for you to just reach out to me to understand that, I will put my number right up here. But anyway, so this is Meg County and Lincoln County are who I'm hearing from now. I'm sure that I'll hear from others. The process is very similar, but each website has a few nuances, so make sure that you pay attention to that too, or just reach out to me. All right, so the most important message is not to panic. Your reassessed value has more to do with the current market than it does with your tax bill. Now, this will be the new value with which the rate is multiplied against to determine how much taxes you owe. But the tax rates tend to offset so that people aren't hit with these big, gigantic increases in their tax bill. And that's what happened in 2019. So if you remember, the last time we went through this, everybody was panicking then too. We could not believe the values. And now you look at it and you're like, I could sell my house for twice that. But that's what's happened, you guys. The tax office legally has to keep up with where the market is as far as tax value. And a little backstory there from a realtor perspective, there are some buyers that look at tax value in order to determine what your house is worth. So we need them to align. One of the biggest issues when we went through this in Mecklenburg County back in 2019 was that it had been 8 years, which is legally the longest the county could go without doing the reassessment. So it was a big shock because if you recall, that would have embodied the bubble crash, the complete and total reduction of values nationwide and specifically in our area, and then the recovery of that. And so that was a really long time. Luckily, they did not do this again this time, but now we're talking about an unprecedented housing market. And so the increases, even with only 4 years, have been exponential. So sticker shock, I'm sure. All right, so let's say the amount that you got looks astronomical and ridiculous to you, whether high or low. So let's talk about either scenario. The first step you need is to get a professional's opinion about really where the value of your house is. The easiest, most direct way to get that, and the least expensive, free in most cases. I don't know, there may be some realtors charging for it. Lewis and Kirk team is not. But it's to reach out to a trusted realtor that actually sells houses successfully in your market to understand the real market value of your house. You can also hire an appraiser. They're going to charge, my best guess, and this is a big range, but $400 to $800 to come out and give you an appraised opinion. Again, they are alike, but one is going to really focus on, where your house would actually sell if you were to put it on the market. And that's a realtor, and you need to reach out to your trusted realtor. Another component to this too is to realize what we're really talking about. So in 2019, the actual property tax rate fell so that people were really minimally affected, but minimally. But I did some math when I wrote this article a few years ago, so I just want to break it down. So if for a specific instance in Huntersville, if you had an increase of $80,000 on a $300,000 house, your tax bill would go up about $900 over the course of the year, which would affect you monthly at $75. So not sure if that helps you at all, allay any fears, or if $75 scares the crap out of you, but just to kind of put into perspective how that really impacts your monthly budget. And based on what I know, if you are not looking to sell your house anytime soon, if your tax rate bill is lower than where you think it should be, don't do anything. Just enjoy the lower tax bill. Now, before moving forward, ask yourselves 2 questions. I'm moving forward with the appeal process. Ask yourself 2 questions. Is my square footage wrong? Number of bedrooms and bathrooms? Anything about the criteria, that big broad criteria of your house that's on there, is any of that wrong? That's step one. Step two, is the value higher than where I could sell my house for today? So if you get a new assessed tax value of $650 and you get that realtor opinion and she says, I would sell it for $685, probably, you guys, you're not going to have much luck. I'm not saying don't try, but you're probably not going to have much luck. So those are really the two questions you need to decide before you go forward. If the answer is yes to either of those, then move forward with the appeal process. Okay, so if you haven't received your tax bill yet and you're like, what is she even talking about? You can go to the Mecklenburg County, and I know Lincoln County is currently affected, and look up your tax rate there. So go do that. I provide some specific information about that in the article, but just go Google North Carolina, your county, tax reassessment. Everything is there. The Mecklenburg County one is really good. I haven't spent much time in the Lincoln County one yet, but it really step by step walks you through the process. Just know that you have only like 30 days. I think Mecklenburg County was specifically June 9th to file a formal appeal. So there's an informal appeal where you just say, hey, I want you to take another look at this. And then there's a formal appeal where you're going to fill out a form and you're going to have it notarized, and you're going to attach the supporting documentation, which is that broker opinion on there. And we have a notary on staff if you are a Lewis & Kirk client. So in my article, I tell you to do the informal request first, and if you're denied, then continue on with the checklist. I provide you a link to the actual form that you need. I give you the deadline date and then tell you what to attach and where to send it. So anyway, that's the process, you guys. So if your number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, overall square footage, anything like that is wrong, that's really kind of an easy argument. If it's really about perceived market value, there may be some additional steps that you take. The last time we went through this, I had lots of clients that had success just attaching my market analysis and filling out the form. Maybe not down to where they really wanted it, but at least some reduction. I hope that helps you guys. I know it's scary. Everything out there is scary right now, especially with regard to your house. But please don't let it be. It ended up not being back in 2019, and I suspect that will be the case here too. We just, it's just a new normal, right, that we have to accept. But be grateful for what the housing market has done, what this equity has done for you. Depending where you see this from me, I will have, hey Zoe, I will have the article linked somewhere. Likely, if there's any script under this video, there'll be a link in bio. It'll take you to my link tree, and then there'll be a link there to go get it. I'm still working on where that's going to be, because if you go to my website, it's going to make you register. I don't want to make you do that. So I'm still working on that piece. Give me a couple of hours, because I'll need people smarter than me to tell me where to post it. But if you want, my number is right here. You can just text me and I'll text it to you or email it to you, whatever your preference is. I will have my phone with me all day, all weekend, all next week. I always have my phone with me except for when I'm out of the country. So anyway, happy St. Patty's Day. Put on your green so you don't get pinched. Whatever this day means to you, I hope you enjoy it. Have a great weekend.